Hello and welcome to Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I am one of your hosts, Jack Nedley Thompson, and as always and as usual, I'm joined by one, Kristian Lasham.
Hello.
And the daddy hole himself. All right, the dick hole himself, Richard Hill.
I'm leaving. You scared off Charlie now that...
We didn't scare off Charlie.
Joke. A wild Richard has appeared. Yes, I have.
Where's the Pokeball? This is the episode where we throw balls at Richard's head.
I don't have a ball in my vicinity, otherwise I would have.
I have two.
Lord, already out of hand.
Hey, how is everyone?
Yeah, all right. Sorry, I thought you meant the chat for a second there. I was just like,
I'm great.
You're fine. You're gonna. He's already had one. Now he's got a double. Katie wants me to come home and eat ice cream. I will quite happily do that.
Can I come?
Katie bought me another banoffee one.
No, can I come?
Camilla and I are going to...
Have I drunk water today? I did this morning before it went, but I haven't had water since, 11 o'clock.
I think he's trying to make you drink my drink.
And just in case anybody doesn't know,
but this is whiskey.
Because obviously this is a very much an in thing at the moment. Jack has had massive problems over the last 2 days with the storm.
Oh, yeah, Jack has a wind problem.
And basically had power for, or no power for how many hours yesterday? About...
Chris is looking at me very funny because he knows something no one else does.
No. What? No. You are not. Seriously.
I had no power for a very long time yesterday, but I don't know if it was actually as long as I made it.
Because the fuse tripped when it came back on?
No. It's even stupider than that.
I love this.
Basically, what happened was when it first went out, I didn't realise it was storm related because I wouldn't call... What was happening around my house, I wouldn't have called a storm. I called it a light breeze. Storm is when there is a skyscraper moving through the wind, basically. But anyway...
Yes.
So I thought, fuck, one of the fuses is gone. And when I went downstairs, lo and behold, one of the fuses was on red. So I flicked it and it went green. And I was like, that's clearly correct.
Yes.
Justifiably so.
Okay.
No power, all day, whatever. So when it got dark and people started turning their lights on and the street lights started coming on,
yeah,
I was like...
You posted a picture of your neighbours.
I was like, motherfuckers. How have you got light? How have you got light? How have you? Maybe you're in a different line, but how have you got light and you got light? So just out of curiosity, I flipped the fuse back to red and everything came back on.
Oh, no!
So whoever labelled those fuses needs a swift punch in the fucking nut.
How long do you reckon?
No, I don't know.
Oh my word.
I have no
I
idea.
thoroughly enjoyed the voice note Jack sent me yesterday explailing it.
Have you still got it?
Probably. Yeah. No,
they expire
it's an
after 2
iOS
minutes,
thing,
don't
so
they?
yeah, be gone.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't know how long I was unnecessarily powerless. And I was very livid about the
And
situation.
just out of interest, this problem with the water today...
Yeah, have you tried turning the taps on?
The tap?
I have tried turning the taps on. Thank you very fucking much. I have tried all 6 taps.
No.
In fact, there are 3 sinks.
Yeah, okay.
2 taps each.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, and the bath. I didn't
Yeah,
try
I was
the
gonna
bath.
We'll pay the bill.
It's not my fucking bill, is it?
It's true.
Have you definitely... Yes, I've lost water. I've lost water.
Yeah.
Definitely have. The bath taps don't work anyway.
Good.
So that's not a fair test. But, yeah.
Good. Anyway.
So I'm probably a bit potent. I couldn't have a shower today. Anyway, there's the stupidity of Jack.
Wow.
That story went exactly as I expected. Have a bath in stream. Heard that's okay to do. No.
I have a nice bathroom.
That's not the issue. I did actually lose power. The power went.
Yeah.
It's just because some fuckhead labelled off green.
So was it only the one fuse?
It was the only one that I touched.
But hang on,
in
were the
our
others?
fuse
Hang on,
thing-
were the others not coloured?
It was probably the overall circuit breaker switch is probably what you were switching, as not the individual fuses.
Yes, it was the overall one. There are so many. There was one that I'm pretty sure Jesus installed. Looking at it, like it's ancient, so I didn't even touch it through fear of electrocution.
It is the right way round, by the way. So red is done as on because it's indication of danger. Green off. Green is safe.
I do understand.
No,
That is it. That is generally it.
no, just be
I couldn't
fucking.
remember, but yeah.
Just use your common sense in that if something electrical is on, there is electrics. It's dangerous. Use your brain. I'm sorry. What we need to do is remove things like that for then 2 years or something, and then go and proceed as normal. Because then all the fuckwits are dead. Like, do not drink on the back of bleach bottles.
You're just saying a
Remove it.
common sense purge is basically.
Yeah, we need to use common sense. Green is on in everything. Or if you're going to change it, have a fucking graph next to it that says otherwise. Because otherwise...
If it's dark, you can't read it.
I have a light on my phone.
You can't be sitting there having to look at a legend before you start flipping your fuse box.
You can. I have a light on my phone. Bring a candle in. But anyway, needless to say, there were 907 different fuses in there. I only flicked one. It looked like the main one. One of them was labelled hot tub. That didn't seem relevant at the time.
Okay.
I can imagine Jack just staring at the fuse board, poking at things and flickering and waiting for a bang. Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially. I could have died then because it said make sure it's off before touching anything. And I
did
was
you
actively
touch?
turning it on.
If you just
Well,
touch the fuse,
the
it's
individual
fine.
fuses, yeah.
Oh,
But it says turn it off before you play with anything.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
don't play with electricity, children. Right. As
In
Sammy
your
says-
last house, you did have one fuse which faced the opposite direction. Fuck off with your shaking your head at me.
Yeah, we're 7 minutes in.
We are called rabbit
I
hole.
haven't even done the rigmarole yet.
This is why. Oh yeah, rigor my hole. This is Admit One, your movie and TV podcast, right here on Rabbit Hole Media, where we sometimes talk about movies. If you like what you're doing is watching us, you can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can join the chaos and carnage that is a conversation over in the Discord.
Indeed.
Indeed.
And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbithole_media_UK and on TikTok at Rabbit Hole Media for all the behind-the-scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that recently got wider and finally, like that shirt. And finally, if you're watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your heart to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but goes a very long way helping us bring you the shows that you love. Are you happy now? Can I continue talking about fuses?
Yeah, go on.
Well, we can talk about ice cream.
I want that ice cream.
Katie's got a different ice cream. So obviously, I had the banoffee sundae one.
Mm-hmm.
Katie's got chocolate. I can't even remember what it is now.
You said chocolate, I'm less interested.
No, sorry, cookie the monster.
Interesting. What's in this? Read the thing.
So hang on, reading the things. I can't read, but I'm reading.
These
things.
aren't the things to read.
Oh good God, there's a lot of things.
oh.
Sweet cream ice cream with chocolate chip cookies
Yeah.
and chocolatey. Stop saying it as if you're getting turned on, please.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And chocolatey cookie swirls topped with creamy whipped ice cream, sea salt chocolatey swirls, and chocolatey chunks.
There were too many creams and chocolates in that.
No, that's a bit of me, that is.
No, that's too much. It's too much. Banoffee, that's where I'm at.
Well, yeah, I mean, the banoffee one, I'd say is better. Banana with chocolatey caramel cups and cookie swirls topped with creamy whipped ice cream, caramel swirls, and chocolatey chunks.
And that one's a bit of me.
That concludes our Ben & Jerry's podcast. Thank you very much for joining us.
I could talk about Ben & Jerry's for a very long time.
Yeah, so could I. Oh, God, are we going to... Oh, no.
No.
We don't have the budget for a Ben & Jerry's podcast.
No. Chocolate chunks is a winner wherever it is. I disagree. Frozen, they're a bit too hard. They sound like very elaborate ice cream. What happened to a good old-fashioned vanilla? There are many videos going around through the storm saying that a twister has been spotted.
Yeah,
and
I've
then
seen
someone
that.
just moving
Yes,
the
yes.
ice cream
Yeah,
across
yeah.
the bottom
Yeah,
of the
which
screen.
I
enjoyed.
applaud. Yeah, I applaud.
I enjoyed. other videos going around where people are now censoring the word drugs. So
we're not
that made
getting
me
into
hate
this.
the internet again.
We're not getting into this.
No. Grow up. We're here to talk about Batman.
Are we? Holy crap! I forgot about that.
I just wanted to say it like that because it was immediately following me telling people to grow up. And
Yes,
I said,
yes,
"We're here to
no,
talk
I
about
got it. I
Batman."
got the joke. I got it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Batman Begins, specifically 2005.
Yeah, I know.
This
It's
movie.
insane.
Ridiculous. Pre-MCU, this movie came out. Christopher Nolan, of course. His third or something movie. Imagine being given Batman for your third film.
I know.
So there was Insomnia. Oh, Malks is in. Hey, bud. Sorry, just randomly seeing Malks in. Yeah, because there was Insomnia. Katie knows.
Insomnia, Memento, and then Batman Begins, I think.
Was that literally it?
In terms of like big
Yeah,
movies.
Yeah.
I imagine there were other smaller projects along the way. But
Yeah, I can't imagine. And he's been a writer and stuff as well, so I'm sure it's not his that fewer credits at all. But
it's good. I like that. I can tell.
why
the
do we
impression.
wow, Master Bruce?
That wasn't very good.
Very elegantly put in chat by Higgins. Thank you very much, buddy.
yes. Anyway, what is it? General thoughts. What do people think about Batman Begins?
Who first?
Chris.
I loved this movie.
Do you?
Yeah.
Me too.
I've always loved Batman Begins. I think it's really good. I have openly said before, and this is going to be a talking point over the next few weeks, that I think this is the best of the three.
Me too.
By a country mile, because it's just a very well written, paced film. Like, as a superhero stuff aside, Batman stuff aside, it's also a really well put together film. That it's structured well, it's paced well. It gives you. It uses foreshadowing in really smart ways early on. It gives you really good payoffs towards the end. You see character development across multiple different characters. You get the cool action scenes with Batman. You get the darker stuff as well to it. It does a really good job as well, just setting up the tone and the feel for the film really, really early. Just the opening sequence of young Bruce, it just sets up the entire tone for the film in such a way where it's like, okay, cool, right, I know what I'm getting in for with this. I think it's fantastic.
Cool. I mean, for me, yeah, I really like this film. I would say I prefer the second one, but we'll see how I feel on rewatching.
You corporate shill.
Fine. Yeah. So, but for me, one of the big things, and actually Katie's literally just written it, but I do think this is a great film, and don't get me wrong by saying that I think the second one is better in my thing. I do think this is a phenomenal film for all the reasons you just said, and also Hans Zimmer. The music is so phenomenally good, and he just... it's like that sweeping shot when Batman's standing on the skyscraper and literally just in silhouette, and it's just that sort of note that holds just while it's going around. It's just so beautifully done.
It's a running theme he does throughout the three films, Hans Zimmer, where there's just like Batman's theme, like Batman's motif. Is that, and then just like two notes, just two low bass, that's it. That's the entire theme.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It works really well.
Katie will regularly just listen to the music just because she loves Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer is great. This is also pre Hans Zimmer ruining the world with Wham! This is 5 years prior. We had 5 years of peace before Hans Zimmer ruined everything. This is my favourite one as well, and I think for all the reasons this one is my favourite one is why Dark Knight isn't. I think the pacing in this is perfect, and I think it's a fucking mess in the Dark Knight.
Okay. I say I'll
we'll get into that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that next week.
But I agree. My issues with the Dark Knight, like the big talking point when we do Dark Knight next week, will be about Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
of course.
Heath Ledger is in no way my issue with that film. No. Like if you're looking at it from the perspective of one character's performance, then yeah, sure, it's the better one. But like
as a film,
I think it has more issues than what this one does.
The entire last hour. We'll get into that next week. I think everything is spot on in this movie. It's not too much, and normally I'd agree with Sammy. He's just put, I tend to prefer second films in superhero series as you don't have to deal with the origin. But I think this one was so well done.
I agree.
And they actually. yes, we know the Batman origin really, but we had never actually had it on film before. This is the first one and the only one really. They keep redoing his parents being shot.
I think it also. Shall I whack a spoiler?
Go for
time
it.
code in here. So we are in
Spoiler.
for a
His
2005
parents die.
I think a big part of that is actually the way they go about giving you that early origin stuff. Because it's not just done as in we're seeing this happen, then we're seeing this happen, then we're seeing that happen. It's done in clever flashbacks. Because every time we get that flashback, it's because he's telling that story to Liam Neeson. It's because he's telling that character. Because then as we come out of that backstory, that flashback, we get them having a conversation based off what we've just seen. They're having a conversation about what we've just seen. So all that origin stuff that it needs to give you, because it needs to do what I think a lot of films have a problem with. It's not assuming that the audience knows what's going on, which I think a lot of films have a problem with, where it just assumes you know. And you can do that to an extent, but you do need to then give some information for the people that don't know. And there will have been people watching this film that wouldn't have known that. And I was one of them. This was one of my first exposures to Batman properly.
Okay,
Like,
really?
I didn't really... I've spoken about this on this channel before. I've never been a big fan of cartoons and animated shows. Even as kids, I never watched Batman. It was never a thing for me. It just wasn't... No. None of those
He had
cartoons...
an awful childhood is what he just announced on the...
I used to watch Disney Channel. Sorry. But I didn't watch...
You're way too old for that.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I used to watch. So
that was just last week as well.
you joke.
No,
there are
I
some
can well imagine.
great stuff.
Not true.
Lost my train of thought because we're talking about my terrible taste in TV programs.
Sorry.
Yes, so like for me, okay, yeah, 2005, whatever. This was like my first proper exposure to Batman, and like seeing all that is, and there would have been other people that would have been their first exposure to this character. So having that information in there is crucial, but it does it in a way which gives it to you for someone that doesn't know it before, and doesn't waste time for someone that does know it. It just, this is the situation. I'm establishing this is what's happening. Move on. I think it does a really good job with that.
Well, I think with the origin story, one of the things that I really liked about this origin story is that it actually made you care more about the dad. Certainly more the dad. The mum, man, it doesn't really sort of... they don't really-
Yeah, shoot her.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, they don't really build on her much.
No, they don't talk about
Obviously,
her. The
it's
story-
more his relationship with his father.
I would like to point out that Ra's al Ghul is correct. It was his dad's fault. Why did he take them out of the back exit of the theatre into a dark alley and just not out the front? They clearly came out of like some side fire exit.
Most theatres have a side exit.
Yeah, but why would he?
Why use it?
Why did he use that? Like, why didn't he
Because
just
that would have been the closest exit.
walk through the theatre
Yeah, I know,
to the normal way of leaving the theatre when you're not going out into a dark back alley where you're likely to get
We
mugged?
know this. Americans aren't...
Yeah, like I'd never do that. If I was in a theatre in London and I had to leave it early for whatever reason, my
wouldn't go
first
to a
thought
darkened
would
alley.
not be, let's just go out of this random fire exit that God knows where that leads.
Mum opened the door.
Same problem.
No,
Well,
Mum's the fault.
But they would have walked to the exit.
Yeah.
Like, if
But
you're getting
who
to the
said
point...
that he was the one leading them?
His attitude is very much, he's the one that makes them leave. Like, Bruce is like, can we go, please? And he's like, okay, we're going to go. And he looks to his wife, he's like, we're leaving. And she's like, oh, fine, I'm fucking enjoying this. It's getting to the good bit, but fine, we'll leave.
And by the way,
You're rich, you can buy more tickets.
by the way,
I
you
tried
have
to
a
say-
son. You have a son who is scared of bats. Let's take them to an opera
About bats.
about bats.
Yeah.
Bet that was the mum's idea.
Yeah, stupid mum. Also, give over the pearls. Yeah,
Hannah says, to be fair, I've been to West End shows where they just let you leave, get you to leave from the nearest exit. Fine, it was the usher's fault then.
but again, maybe it is the dad or mum's fault, just purely for taking them to an opera about bats. Anyway,
Yeah. True.
This was pre a time when everyone was angry on the internet as well. So they got away with having a man named Ra's al Ghul be a white man. That wouldn't fly today.
yeah. But is the actor not of?
He's
Oriental
Irish.
origin?
What,
Oh,
Liam
really?
Neeson. Liam Neeson?
Oh no, sorry. I thought yes. Sorry, I thought you meant the one that was pretending to be Ra's al Ghul. Sorry, it's a very different idea.
No.
But that's not his actual name. I don't know about the character in general. But
Ra's al Ghul, yeah,
is
that's
that not
his
just a? Is that not just a baddie name?
No.
Okay.
Ra's al Ghul's his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also about 700 years old, or older. No.
I imagine he's not in this universe.
No, I imagine he's not in this universe as well. He does refer to himself as immortal, but I think he means more metaphorically.
I imagine...
in the way Batman is immortal.
Yes, I imagine it's kind of like a name is passed down.
Yes, in this universe.
Yeah.
Do you know they were trying to tie this into... This was going to be the Justice League Batman.
Oh.
That's what So that's why the DCEU is so fucked. Because they made Man of Steel.
Reasons.
Well, yes, but I mean that's why it started fucked. Because they made Man of Steel to tie into this.
Didn't know that.
And then they just moved away from it because everyone just went, well, okay, you've made everything so very, very grounded, and you've brought everything back, you've dialed everything down. How does an alien with super laser eyes come into play?
That is one of my favourite things actually about the Nolan Batman films. I like how grounded they are.
Yeah, no, I do like that as well, but it is also why I don't classify them as superhero movies.
I agree.
Yeah.
But that...
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
That's just my own little classification.
No, I
They're
agree.
still very good. When everyone's
yeah,
like, Dark Knight is the best superhero movie of all time. I was like, well, it's not even the best in the trilogy, for one. So, not a superhero movie.
No, I agree. But I really, really like how this is... I like the dark tone as well,
Yep.
and it is a bit uncomfortable still in places. It gets a bit creepy.
Yeah.
And
It
I
did
like that.
ruin the world, but yes, I agree. Because after this, everything had to be dark and grounded.
Yes,
and
yeah.
yes, it ruined the world. But I agree. In these, it works because that's where they were going. But Superman was, his suit can't be that blue.
I've not seen those.
You don't need to. But they
intend
they
to.
went to the point where they even toned down the color of his suit because it needed to be darker. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
enough about how Nolan ruined the universe.
By being good, by the way.
Yeah. I love Nolan. I think he's lost his way a little bit, but up to 2014, he was spot on.
I still haven't seen Tenet.
You're going to have a few bad films from time to time.
Yeah, of course.
Not everyone's going to be smashed out of the park.
No, absolutely not. Tenet was better than Dunkirk, but that wasn't difficult.
I haven't seen Dunkirk.
Don't bother. It's not even
fine.
just not very good. Yeah, it's not even just not very good for Nolan. It's just not very good.
Okay, fine.
The whole thing about that film was how loud it was. That's all everyone talked about. I was like, I don't want it to be that loud. I was literally sat there in the cinema like, for fuck's sake, like, shut up. It's a plane. I get it. And then everyone made a big deal about Harry Styles being there, but he didn't say a word.
Does he not at all?
No, he doesn't speak in that movie.
Tom Hardy's in it too.
Oh, yeah, it's a
He
pilot.
doesn't speak, and he does say a line, but he never shows his face.
Well, he's got a mask.
says-
He's got like a mask thing on because he's in a plane.
Sam says, I won't watch it again, but it wasn't shit. Praise indeed.
Dunkirk in IMAX was oppressively loud. Yes, it was. Yes, I agree. Anyway, Batman.
I sit next to these two each time I'm here. Oppressively loud.
Don't compare my volume
All
levels
right,
to
him,
Jack.
yeah.
I think you should both shut the fuck up.
All right.
Frankly, it's very rude, and I will throw.
I've had a weird thing where I've not seen Jack like in a week.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's been a holiday for me. No, I'm joking. No, seriously,
Abuse.
it's one of those things. It's lovely to see him.
Abuse. I'm going to make a formal complaint.
Thank you, Katie.
Pardon?
I think she was talking to me, not you, darling.
The joke also doesn't work when it's written down.
Oh dear.
Batman.
Batman, yes, Batman.
He
So-
has a cape.
Do.
Obviously, one of the cooler Batmobiles that
Yes.
we've ever had.
Yeah, agreed. And I'd say the most realistic in terms of it being indestructible. Just it looks like it's indestructible.
Oh, I see. I
this
thought you just
one-
meant it's the most the most realistic car, and I was like, I don't think it is.
Yeah,
I think the Adam West Batmobile was probably the most
Bye,
realistic.
Higgins. Thank you for joining us, sir, mate. But yeah, it's. I mean, as always, when I come here, I get Lego MV, and it's
Penis envy.
By looking at my own reflection.
Because you're a big penis.
Oh dear. Better than the fight. Better than the fucking.
See, now
Vikings,
Hannah says
film.
we only noticed the Tumblr 5 minutes ago. That is because
black,
it's
isn't it?
so well designed that it blends into its surroundings. Yeah, it's in stealth mode.
Indeed, I would have one.
I'm not going to read it out, but just the bottom one there.
Just take the compliment. It's fine. We'll move on.
Yeah,
No, that's entirely.
it's a biased opinion, though, I'm afraid. So it doesn't count.
Anyway,
I would
Tumblr.
have one. Let's just put it that way.
One of these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not the Lego one.
Oh yeah. What's he say? I got to get me one of those.
Yeah,
does it come in black?
But it is black.
Yeah. No. Yes. No. As in.
Yeah, I'd have one.
Wasn't
Traffic wouldn't be a problem.
Wasn't stealth mode just turning the lights off and driving slowly? Yes, 100%. That is stealth mode.
Yeah. So you be stealthy.
It even said stealth mode activated, though, so clearly there was... Maybe it did some form of
Does
noise
that mean,
muffling.
Does that mean during the day it's in stealth mode, even though it can still be very much
It'll be a
seen?
bit more conspicuous, I think, during the day.
Just seeing that rolling past on the A21. Yeah, okay.
It'd be great, though.
Oh yeah. What a day.
Yeah.
If I was driving one of those around, fuck yeah. The new map... The new map... Oh, fuck.
The new Batmobile.
Looks pretty great as well.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, well, that's because it's more like a traditional
muscle
style
car,
Mustang,
yeah.
Shelby,
With a fucking jet engine.
Yeah. With
How to make a car jack once. Get a Mustang and put a jet engine on it. Yes.
Yeah.
But even these are fucking massive, and they're for Lego. Look at these
Yeah.
tyres; they're huge.
I don't know how big the new version of that Lego one is.
I don't
in
know.
comparison, but,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
but
It's a slightly different design. It looks a bit different.
yeah.
I biased because I have it. I do think this one looks better. I think it looks more detailed, and it was
Fair.
more expensive than what the current one is. I think
Yes. Yeah. yeah.
This is like
That's high
what?
series.
This was like 260
it was something like that.
when
Yeah.
it came out.
But yeah, so it is awesome. I mean, in terms of obviously the tech of the Batmobile and everything, do we want to talk about Lucius Fox and obviously his ideas?
I want to talk about so many things.
Then let's
I wanna
start.
Keep going.
So many things.
It would be
Just
a
roll.
good option.
Just roll with what you want to talk about.
Yeah, we just tumble.
Lucius Fox. Ha ha!
We can Lucius Fox it. I mean, Morgan Freeman's cool, isn't he?
Morgan Freeman
He's
is cool.
awesome.
Well, I think this is actually a good segue. It's just, I think the casting and the characters in this film are really good across the board.
Absolutely spot on.
And across the series, I think, to be honest. But I
So
think,
good that they replaced one of them.
I don't think
yeah.
they could get Katie Holmes back. I think
No,
that's
I
the
know,
problem.
I know.
because she was
I
locked in a
just-
dungeon with Tom Cruise.
That's a
Of
nice
Scientology.
Scientology.
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
We're a bit close to the Scientology headquarters to be making jabs. We will be taken.
Well, apparently
Well, at
there's-
least I will on the way home. I've got to
There's-
drive past it.
There's not the HQ, but there's apparently one towards Heathfield area as well. Anyway, we digress.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I think Christian Bale's fantastic for one. I think he's really, really good. I think he gets a good switch between Bruce Wayne and Batman. What?
So I'm just doing my.
I see. Gary Oldman is
absolutely
always
spot
a
on.
treat. Michael Caine,
My
excellent.
cocaine.
excellent in this film.
That's,
He's
how you,
excellent.
that's
as-
how you get his accent spot on. You just say, my cocaine. And that's how he
My
says his
cocaine.
name. My cocaine.
Every single time Michael Caine was on the screen, it was just like.
He's going to die soon.
He's excellent. What did we say before we started? He has the best line in this
He
film.
does
He
have
does.
the best line.
Who's got the best Michael Caine impression?
Not
Not
me.
me.
No, not me either. No, me either.
That's you. That's
not.
definitely you. I've not heard it, but it's definitely you. It's definitely not me.
What is the point in all of those bloody push-ups?
If you can't even lift a gosh darn log.
But that's an excellent line.
The
It is
second
an
best
excellent
line in the movie is, I do hope you're not a member of the fire brigade.
Yes, yes, it is. It is. It's very good. Very good. But even like, I think all of them, like Cillian Murphy as Crane,
yeah.
is excellent. It's
Yeah,
like
Cillian.
Murphy. He's excellent.
Killian is.
He's
again,
excellent in everything.
I know,
to be fair.
but I think I think everyone.
Well,
in this
yeah,
film is excellent in
exactly.
everything,
I'm not a Peaky Blinders fan at all. I've never watched it. But,
No, neither have
I can well imagine he's phenomenally
Yeah.
good in that.
I
But
keep
yeah,
meaning to watch it, but it's
yeah.
just one of those-
that embodiment and the way he delivers some of the lines is great, and it's the Batman.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Even the guy like characters like Falcone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just everything in it is just really good performances. It feels really natural, and every character feels characterized. They all feel individual, unique, and even though the whole thing feels very grounded, it has that kind of like each character has that kind of like comicness to it in a strange way. It's kind of
It's grounded, but it's stylized.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, exactly that.
Hyper realistic as opposed to just full on.
which I think works really, really well. I think they absolutely nailed that. It makes for as I said, I think they set up the tone of the film really early on. Like that opening sequence of young Bruce, of him falling down the well, and just very quickly it's just straight into like the sequence with the bats flying at him, and it's done in quite a uncomfortable way. It's like, okay, there's a horror edge to this. This is supposed to be dark and a little bit scary, a little bit uncomfortable, and the whole film is playing on this idea of fear. And the whole point of the Batman is to embody fear and become fear and use fear against his enemies. That's kind of the whole point. And they've like that again becomes a thing throughout the entire series. But they do a really good job of just really pushing in on that, on like understanding that he has a fear here and how he's going to use that and how that's going to help later on.
Well, it's then exemplified by the fact that the first time we see Batman isn't from his point of view; it's from the point of view of the people he's picking off.
The Falcone scene in the docks,
It's
and you don't really see him much at all. It is literally just blurs.
Yeah, see, the first time you see him properly is when he grabs Falcone and he says, "I'm Batman." That's the first time you see him properly. Boo. And boo. But even then, like, it's a very quick kind of...
Yeah.
You know, it's not...
And you see him hanging
You are
upside
right,
down as
yeah.
well and dropping
You are right. It is very much that scene of...
everything is but still quick cuts and moving away, and you know the fight sequence where he's taken on everyone, it's so just cut, boom, 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 and you don't really see him properly, which is the point, because you're not
you're not supposed to.
Yeah, and if you were there, you wouldn't see him. The whole point is why it's scary is you can't tell what's going on. He's too quick to catch a good glimpse of him. So when they then do that, the next shot is that proper reveal of him standing there on the car and he's, "I'm Batman." Like that works really well.
Does imply he named himself though, which is less
Does
cool.
imply he named himself. Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
Less cool. Sitting there with a
Michael
note.
Caine may have named him Batman. And he went, "I'll stick with that. I like it."
I can't think of anything better.
Yeah. Or he went to a wrestling
Winged
ring,
rodent man.
and he was like, "I am the amazing human bat." And the guy was like, "There we
The
go."
amazing Batman. Yeah, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
100%.
Hannah was getting Patrick Bateman vibes from Bruce, which I've never noticed in the many times I've seen these.
Okay.
That's terrible. That's a horrifying vibes to get.
Making sure that's
American Psycho, yeah.
Oh, I see.
I still haven't seen American Psycho, and I need to. And I think we even have it at home.
It's a very good film.
Yeah.
A very good film.
All I know is that there's something about a chainsaw being thrown down a stairwell or something.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
That whole sequence, though, as you say, in the docks, everything about that, from the way he first grabs that guy who just screams and into darkness and like, what's going on here? And as again, we said it before the show, and the guy, there's other dudes looking around, just shooting. Where are you?
Yes. Yeah.
It's pretty good, really, really good, really good. And I think it means that then when you get the scene a little while on, which is really actually only the second time you really see him taking on a group of thugs, and they're starting to share these rumors. Is it true that he can fly and do this? It's believable that already would have spread, because
in the underworld.
Yeah, even though we haven't seen much of it, it still kind of makes sense because that scene was so intimidating, and you can see the huge effect he's had, that he's managed to take down everyone and even secure Falcone, who no one could get their hands on. Just shows like why everyone else would then be a little bit unsure of him.
Yeah.
It's good. Very clever.
Weird little bit of tidbit that these films just seem to have gotten wrong. It's Falcone.
Is it really? There's no E.
There's no E. It's just Carmine Falcone in pretty much anything else you'll watch in the
Okay.
DC world. Just a
Falcone
weird-
sounds better.
Yeah.
It does sound better, but that's probably because that's the first time we heard it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Falcone. So when everyone says Falcone, E. It sounds unfinished.
It almost sounds like it should be Falcon. And the Winter Soldier. Faust!
Well, it's kind of got like Falcone, that it has the Italian mafia
Yes.
kind of vibe.
And
to it,
obviously, the very British actor playing him, that is
Yeah.
not an Italian thing.
doesn't it? No, but it has that like East End gangster kind of thing. You'd expect that kind of character. Like, just it makes sense.
I don't know how dangerous someone can be if they go whack-a-doo. If someone says wackadoo, they're usually not particularly thuggish.
Well, he's not a thug. He's a crime lord.
Oh, yes.
He gets other
but
people.
Yeah, he
you'd have
doesn't
to be
do-
reasonably thuggish to
He
get
gets
to that
other
point.
people to do the dirty work
Yeah,
for
no,
him.
but you have to get to that point.
He's
You
got
don't
money,
just
innit?
go outside and go, I am a crime lord, and then
Yeah,
that's it.
if you've got the money, because then you buy the muscle and go, I am a crime lord. And when anyone questions it, you go, my muscle I've just hired. Murder. See? Crime lord.
Boba Fett.
One day when I have money, I'll show you what I mean. Because my life
We haven't got enough money to
aspiration
buy
is-
Ben and Jerry's at the
is to
moment.
become a crime lord.
That's why he said one day. One
Say
day.
now.
Instead of the hired goons, can we just get Ben and Jerry's?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Might buy Ben and Jerry's
I'm sure we can afford
and then
both.
set some new rules about the pool area.
Okay.
Awful. Awful. Awful joke. Also, that's not how buying buildings works.
It is when you got that much money.
Yeah, but he was probably just a member of staff.
Yeah,
He'd
yeah,
given a
absolutely.
check.
Here's
was
a
a
check.
December month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
I mean,
like,
I did
I
wonder
mean, yeah,
if-
that member of staff would let him do
Oh
what
yeah,
he
like
wanted,
if I
but
was
he
that
would
member of
also
staff, it'd be like, take that check. See you later,
abscond.
guys.
Yeah, absolutely
Cash
abscond.
this.
Here
Also-
is a check for as much that's enough to buy this hotel.
Like in the store, if someone came up to either me or you, even me, you know, as manager, it's just like, hey, I'm buying. No, you're not. What the fuck are you talking about? Leave my store.
no, if someone gave me like 100 grand instead of buying this store,
mean-
I would go home.
But you wouldn't be the one getting the money.
I
I
mean,
would have the check.
Yes, but it would be.
I work for an employee ownership company, so I would
cool,
be the
good.
one getting the money.
Anyway, we digress a lot.
It's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Indeed. Batman.
Him training with Ra's al Ghul.
Yes.
The sequence where they're like, you need to blend in.
Yeah.
And there's all the different
Yeah,
ninjas
yeah,
he's hiding
ninjas.
between. Very clever as well.
Yeah.
Another comic tidbit of Nolan doesn't know how to pronounce things. It's Raish.
Ra's al Ghul.
Again, Ra's sounds better.
So is that in like cartoons and stuff that it's always been Ra's?
It's Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. I wouldn't have ever known that. Even in
Arkham City. Yeah, it's Raish.
That is
Is it
mad to
really?
me that like no
think-
one in this
pretty
film
sure.
was able to check that.
I also just think because it is spelt RA''AS, I think, or just RAS. Obviously, yeah, that Raz.
I understand how like they would
I
go.
also think it was 2005. No one cared.
There is that.
yes, it's not like today when you know
Everything has to be
everything is
spot on.
scrutinised and yeah, exactly.
Liam Neeson
Actually, I
was too
think you're
tall, so
fine.
they had to put ninjas on blocks.
Oh really?
Why didn't they just cast taller ninjas? That seems weird.
Yeah.
What? Because Liam Neeson's really tall.
This is true. This is true. But yeah, that whole scene of him then just assaulting a couple of ninjas and slicing their arms.
Yeah.
But it's clever. I like it.
And well done to those ninjas for not going. Ow!
Yeah.
Fucker! I'm like, my tattoos.
But yeah, it is a clever little scene, and obviously the first bit of the toxin that is kind of encountered.
You'd think someone from DC would make sure things were consistent, but then Warner Brothers. So yeah, Warner Brothers don't give a shit.
But I mean, even like early Marvel stuff.
Howard the Duck had tits. No one cared.
He had breasticles.
Yes,
Okay. Well, duck breasts.
exactly.
I see.
Good joke. Good
No,
joke.
no, but there's duck breasts. Anyway. No. No. And no. Post that to the Discord now so that everybody actually understands what we're fucking
I've
talking
never
about.
been so attracted to a duck.
I have never been turned off so much.
What, by a duck?
No, just in general.
For everyone else, this is going to be completely out of context.
Yes, 100% this is going to be out of
There you
context.
go.
That's not watching the show. But it's in the Discord if anybody wants to go and have a look. Anyway. Right, so...
I just love
This-
the abrupt laugh from Chris was amazing.
the scenes in the temple, obviously, nice sweeping landscapes on the road there and everything.
yeah.
Katie has already seen the picture. Yeah, lovely sweeping shots, great location shots, everything, brilliant. And obviously, then cutting into that fight scene and him being trained, and going on to him being asked to kill the man to execute. Obviously, him then having that conscience ideal and going, no,
I'm not going to decapitate a man for. What did he say? He done like stole rice or something? No, I think he said he murdered someone.
Yeah, he murdered. He murdered someone to steal.
but he also stole rice.
Yeah.
I wasn't completely wrong.
It was some tilde. That was why it was important.
Yeah, he's a murderer.
But yeah, he's like, no, flung hot coal poker thing across the room, and suddenly,
Seems a bit extreme, but yeah.
why would a duck have nipples? Why
would it be able to talk?
Why is it called Howard?
All these questions on something
do you
other
have
than a
nipples?
Batman
Hang
show.
on,
Yeah.
hang on. You can call a duck Howard.
You can ducks, and you can also have a duck with nipples.
Okay.
There is a picture of one in the Discord. Fight me.
Oh dear Lord. So we're gonna talk about the fight scene.
What
Going
fight
on to
scene?
next.
Well,
In the
most of
after
the film.
training, yeah, well that's true.
it wasn't really a fight scene, was it? It was
He
people blew up and he
He
punched.
took on Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah, but he was a pawn. He wasn't actually
pawn?
ratio, probably. He wasn't actually Ra's
No,
al Ghul.
exactly. That's what I meant. Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
And he got taken out by a log.
Also, when he catches
no.
Liam Neeson off that cliff, dislocated shoulder.
Oh, 100%. He would. Yeah, he would have.
Oh,
got
I think his sternum is in 3 pieces. At that point.
Yeah, hyperextended arm in bits.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. No.
But even just that ideal of gripping in and keeping him on.
Oh
the
yeah, that
edge,
would rip his.
Let alone
That would
pulling
rip
him
his
up.
arm out of
But
place.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. He is in, as you say, 3 pieces.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, his
Absolutely.
sternum's just gone.
One arm up there, one arm down there, and middle somewhere.
Liam Neeson at the bottom of a cliff.
Exactly.
Yeah. And at least they made it look like he was struggling.
He was struggling
to
and it hurt to lift him up.
to lift him up.
It's because he was. Yeah. Anyway.
It's not just if it was Batfleck, it would have just been.
As Katie says, that bit was a spot the stunt doubles moment.
Oh yeah, there was also with every shot, Liam Neeson had moved further away from the edge of the cliff
really?
again.
Didn't notice that.
No, I didn't.
But that's just one of those things. How the fuck are you meant to get that spot on every
Yeah,
time?
that's hard.
Yeah, that's not possible. And also, the shot would have been 2 seconds because the first time when you see him like. The wide shot, and you see his whole body just sliding. He's already next to the edge. So by the time Bruce Wayne has done a toboggan down the hill, jam. Ready for a scone.
And some plotted.
But yes, that's probably the most unrealistic part of this entire
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Not the tank that can jump across bridges.
No, I'll buy that.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
There's some applied
I'd buy
science
one as
to
well.
it.
There is the other. Obviously, we were talking earlier about the best lines. There is another line that was also very, very good, which is right towards the end of the film, where he's talking about having bought out the company.
Oh, he just repeats what he said about
exactly,
it being technical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All you need to know is that my company is there. Yeah, fuck you, prick.
And then, didn't you get the memo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit
That
of
was-
sass.
That was a big old get the fuck out my office
Yeah.
line, wasn't it? Yeah, fuck you, you prick. Yeah, I enjoyed it. So we went public a week ago, and I bought them all, you dickhead.
I don't know whether everybody knows this. I think it is generally a bit of a known fact, but obviously at one point Batman's talking to a boy on the balcony bit. And
Prince Joffrey.
Yeah, well, King Joffrey at the end. In Game of Thrones. So that kid becomes Joffrey in.
cunt.
Yeah, I can't.
So is it?
I
Is
used it twice.
Oh no!
is this still the same universe as Game
Yes,
of Thrones?
100%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why
Did
not
you see
the
Batman?
dragons?
That's why it's so grounded.
Did you see Batman in Game of Thrones?
That'd be funny.
Batman versus the Dothraki.
That whole sequence when, obviously getting towards the end of the film, when the area or the water's being weaponized.
Carry on. I've just been remembered of the only plot issue I have, but carry on.
Is it to do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that What? Go on, say what you think.
So the whole thing is that they've been drugging the water for weeks, and you can't. The reason no one can feel the effect of it is because it has to be inhaled. So they've got this microwave emitter which is going to convert everything to steam, so you can inhale it. So you're telling me in the space of these weeks that no one in the city's had a shower, or like done something that's created steam in their house out of the water
That's a very,
supply?
very good point.
Like boiling some water to make
Maybe it's
some
not enough.
peas.
There is also a very big plot hole.
You don't really hover over the shower, but you don't really hover over your kettle.
But
and
there's
inhale the
steam
steam,
being
do you?
like steam being produced. Like there is no way there is not just steam being produced anyway around that city from the water supply.
I'm sure there's at least one.
Maybe boil it out.
Well, that wouldn't make sense with how the microwave emitter works because it would boil it out.
Good point, my mate.
No one makes tea in Gotham, as Malk says.
It-
Surely at least one.
Kettles are a very un-American thing. to
Kettles,
do.
yes, but there's many other things. Hot water isn't
Yes, yes,
unusual.
yeah. No.
Surely there is one person who's had a cold and they've got some opus oil, put it in, and
That's what I'm saying. Like, absolutely, that would have been. Someone would have been
All
alerted
these
to
things
that
sound
prior.
very fancy for Gotham. You're talking about the
I can
Narrows,
see people
the
in the
shit
Narrows
part of
doing-
Gotham. The bit that at the end of the movie they just admit that it's shut. Fuck everyone who's there. It's gone.
Oh well, that middle bit of the island.
yeah,
That's
the
fucked,
Narrows. Yeah, they're just like, it's fucked. We're not bothering. It's pretty much what they said.
Probably makes sense as a thing to do though. If you've got a bit of an island which you can physically cut off and it's full of criminals, just leave them. It's fine.
A lot of America's like that. You can literally do that to Manhattan as well.
And well, that's what they should do. They should put all the. I'm not going to say this.
okay.
Good lord, I know where you were going, but good lord.
I thankfully wasn't paying attention at that point. Could I just bring up the
Don't tell me you don't agree.
I agree. It's
the other big plot point is that when
called Australia.
when hi Liam when they steal the thing in the first place, they fire it up on the boat.
Yeah.
Water. Surely
Are you,
the boat is in water.
are you expecting the entire ocean just to go steam?
All of a sudden, that's a
Don't
way
think
we
it's
can,
that strong.
that's a way we can reduce
But why
the
would
water
it not
levels.
also like microwave all the water in your body?
I mean, there's many things.
Maybe they should have applied some more science to it.
Maybe, maybe, yeah.
Same joke
This is
twice,
why-
eh, Chris?
They definitely didn't think that through because if it's powerful enough to
Instantly.
vaporize
Yeah.
instantly vaporize the entire water
Everything
supply,
from the sewers and this, that, and the other. Yep.
people would just jellify and just
Wibbly whib.
yeah, go wobbly wob. Dehydrate.
Yeah, that was my only sort of issue with this film plot wise.
Fair
That's
enough.
fair. That's fair.
The only thing I found to be like very unbelievable.
But yeah, it is. Obviously, all of the people get affected by the air and everything. Surely they were like that for quite some time, because obviously Lucius was going to try and get more of the antidote and everything. How was the cleanup operation? Because obviously all those people on the Narrows were affected.
I think that's what they're saying. That
Well,
the
that's what they
Narrows
said.
is written off. He says
So
at the end, it's like we haven't dealt with that yet.
Oh, did they? I missed
Yeah.
that.
No,
Oh,
when they're
yeah.
on the roof, just before he gives him the Joker card, he basically just says like, "The Narrows no longer exist."
Yeah.
Like they haven't lowered the bridges. Is just shut off.
Yeah.
And that's never dealt with.
Nope.
It just seems to like either be ignored or fixed by the next film, but never really fully discussed.
And just checking, was that Arkham Asylum that was the prison?
Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of assume so.
Yes,
as
he
well.
Well, not the prison, but the.
Yes, he calls it Arkham.
Yeah.
Oh, he does call it Arkham.
just-
Yeah. So the asylum's Arkham. The
Yeah.
prison.
Grand enough.
Yeah. That they break out of.
And by
Well,
the way,
yeah, it's because it's usually out on the outskirts and it's a big old like haunted mansion type
Yeah,
thing. But this
exactly.
was just a normal
there
building.
is a moment where Batman frees a an inmate by blasting through
Two of
his
them. He
wall.
goes through the door and then goes through
Sorry,
the
yeah,
wall
two.
as well. And they're both just sat there like, as you would be if a giant man bat just walked through your house with small explosives.
Man Bat's a different character.
He is. He is.
And really scary in the game.
Yeah, he just appears out of fucking nowhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love those games.
Those games are phenomenal.
Different show.
Yes.
We'll get there.
Maybe we'll do it as a passion game. Stop it.
As much as I would love to do this sort of thing for games, where would we find the time? We'd have to schedule like 6 months in advance per episode.
Yeah.
But I would love to.
I did it with Split Second.
We didn't play the entire game to completion and then do a podcast about it, did you?
No. Anyway.
I'd find the time.
Yeah. We would desiccate. I assume we're still talking about the...
What are you doing?
My foot keeps falling off my chair.
Why is your foot on the chair?
It's comfortable.
Strange human being.
Fuck off.
I don't know. Right, any other sort of plot issues or anything?
No, I don't have any issues with this film. I love this film. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really good. I think it develops really well. Hannah said, I think it was Hannah that said in chat on that it's for a film that's not that long, it feels really long. I disagree. I don't think it feels long at all.
And also, I'd say it is long because it's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a long film. It feels the length it is. I don't think it feels too long. I think it's paced well.
Only because of timing-wise this week, I had to watch it in 2 sessions.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it this afternoon, again, timing-wise, etc. But I think it's really good. I really think this film is very, very good.
Why do you have an issue with the mentioned location?
So, at the end, when... and it's purely just in my mind, thing of how I understand Batman in general. Obviously, the Wayne Manor... You see at the end, obviously all being destroyed and everything, and then it kind of they're talking together, and in the background you've got these lovely green fields, and that just doesn't look like anywhere in Gotham. But obviously, it must be
Wayne
close
Manor
to
has always been on the very, very, very outskirts of Gotham.
Yeah, fair. But it's just it looks like there is on the horizon there is nothing even on the horizon.
It's probably in front of him.
Yeah.
Because behind it is also a massive cave with a long dirt road and a waterfall.
Well, underneath, yeah.
Yeah. So there's got to be a big load of nothing behind it.
Yeah.
So I imagine the Gotham is just in front.
So this was the other thing I was going to bring up about Wayne Manor is that both Sammy, Katie, and
The real Gotham's in 2 places, but
have Oh, okay.
There's a real Gotham?
No, as in I assume he means where the film was shot.
Oh.
But yeah, we went to
New York and Pittsburgh.
I was going to say, I assumed it was filmed in New York.
We've been to Willerton Manor, which is certainly not in New York, and Wayne Manor is in Nottingham, very close to Sammy. So when we went up and saw them, we've been twice, and Sammy I'm sure has been there multiple times. But yeah, they even and I have on my phone somewhere a picture of Sammy in Willerton Manor with the Batcape on.
Nice.
But yeah,
It was a weird thing they did in the middle. Why did they do that bit where they were like, when they ordered 10,000 cows where the graphite wasn't up to scratch?
But they didn't know that when they ordered it.
Yeah, but they never went back to that. That fact just never went, but they never went back to that point.
Well, they ordered better ones.
Yeah,
It just seemed like a weird thing to put in the film when there was no like...
A little montage of getting it. I did like the... Well, at least we'll have spares.
Yeah.
but also...
Just less British.
After that, the scene straight after that, where he is just proven that it is very weak, he then headbutts Falcone. It's just like, no, my identity.
They got a new one.
I'm assuming he's got the better ones by then. I just
Yes.
think it was a weird thing to put in if there was no like fallout from that. They should have done a scene where he headbutted Falcone and his thing disintegrated. It was, oh shit, these are the crap graphite ones. Silly me.
That would have been awful.
I agree. Don't put it in then.
I enjoyed it.
Just to read something that Katie put up a second ago. Also, this is the first time I've watched the film in a while, and I've noticed that Rachel is actually a horrible person when it comes to how she treats Bruce.
Yeah, she's awful.
She's Queen Bitch.
That
Yeah,
ending
just put it out
is
there.
so strange because it's just like, kisses him and everything, and then goes, "But you're not the person that I fell in love with."
Because
and then they're holding hands. I didn't get that.
That whole thing of just like, I'm hoping about maybe we'd have something together, and then I realised you were wearing a mask. He's like, well, the mask is just, this mask, your face is your mask, and so far the city needs you as Batman, and that's not the man I fell. Get over your fucking self. Just get over yourself. What is your problem? Fuck off. If I was Bruce Wayne, I'd be like, fuck off then. I'll find someone else. I'm Bruce Wayne.
Yes, I have enough money for 12 of you
Yes.
in my pocket right now.
Like, it really annoyed me. It annoys me so much.
Buying
But
women.
That doesn't. that doesn't change throughout. Like Rachel Dawes, even in the next one, she's still like, I want
but
you,
she
but I
gets a
want him,
comeuppance.
and I want you, and I want him, and you're not this, and he's not that. Oh, get fuck off.
Yeah, she gets her comeuppance.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Yeah, but he loves her, and she knows. That's one of my things with these early 2000 superhero movies. Is like, yeah, the hero is in love with this girl, and it's like, why? I've seen no reason. It's the same with Pete and MJ in the Raimi movies. Why?
Well, she spoke to him.
She's the most irritating human being on the fucking planet, and all she does is moan.
But she did speak to him.
That's true.
Yeah, sometimes
That's
that's all
true.
it takes for a guy.
That is true.
She knows I exist. I'm in.
He was better off driving the Lamborghini Bat and fucking models. Well,
Lord.
I read that.
Gracious.
In the
Fucking
pool
models.
area.
But, no, I misread. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. You can grow out of people. You know what I mean? I don't know anyone from when I was a kid that I still tolerate.
Fair.
But you say, see, Katie, you say he's built it up to be something it will never be. It could be, because she likes him too. She just has a sticker up her ass.
At this point, it seems like it's more like an entire tree. At that point.
It's just the way she slaps him twice in the car as well. It's just like...
If the first slap wasn't enough.
Yeah, exactly. But again, all in all, as much as we've kind of bitched about some bits and pieces, I do really like this film.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
And I know that you two, obviously, it's your favourite out of them, so yeah.
I could find problems in the best thing ever made, don't worry.
Me too.
Only because it's fun to take the piss out of
Absolutely,
issues.
I could probably go on for about 3 hours on issues with Endgame.
Yeah, I know you could. I think we did.
Fucking Fortnite.
I do. I really, really think this is a spectacular film. I think, as I said before, I think it's paced well. I think the tone is fantastic. I like the dark grittiness. And I like that kind of carries over a little bit into the Arkham games. I like that about the Arkham games, that there's clearly a little bit of influence there. Did either of you two play the Batman Begins game? Mm-hmm. Now, I imagine going back to it, it's probably shit. But I remember as a kid...
I remember really liking it.
I remember loving it in 2005 as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
I remember it being cool. But I do remember it having... it had like the tone and the feel and everything.
Yeah.
Like, down. It was good.
It was good fun. I remember that game. I played it many a time.
I don't remember it.
I remember that cover.
Yeah, it would have been PS2, wouldn't it?
It was a PS2 game, yeah. It's great.
Yeah. No, I don't remember.
6.8 out of 10. Fucking IGN. Useless.
Yeah, good stuff.
Bizarrely, IMDb gave it 8.2. The film.
Yeah, but, IMDb's then an amalgamation of different views, isn't it? Yeah. So it's commercially well received. More Batman games. There are more Batman games coming. I'm an idiot. Shut up.
Well, the next one is
Well,
not
there
a Batman.
aren't.
Well,
Really?
no, yeah.
There aren't any games with Batman coming
It's
out.
true. It's true.
But you can always go back and play any of the Arkham series, which are really bloody good games.
Except for the one that wasn't made by Rocksteady.
Well, I've heard that was actually pretty good. But
It's
actually
one of my favourite ones.
Yeah, most people
Maybe that's
didn't
not the one
actually
I'm
ever
thinking
play
of.
it.
Which one is it that...
People do hate it.
There is one that I hated.
Arkham Knight?
No, I liked Arkham Knight. I didn't have a problem with
Arkham
that.
Knight's my least favourite one.
It's my least... no, I wouldn't say it's my least favourite. It's probably my second to least favourite. No, this the... it's either Origins or City. I don't remember which one it is. But one of them I didn't like. I had a really bad time with it when I played it.
Fair enough.
I just don't remember
I
the
don't like City very much. I know everyone's like, oh, it's the best, but it's
I could
not.
only assume that maybe it was City that you didn't like.
It might
Possibly
be.
because you... this is thought process-wise. Maybe that you really loved the first one so much. And
Yeah,
you were just
Origins
like,
was
oh.
excellent.
Asylum.
Asylum, sorry.
So, yeah. Sammy's favourite was City. I haven't finished
No,
it.
I don't. Because Asylum was so good, and I felt the open world aspect was completely unnecessary. It was too big.
I agree with that decision. Sorry, with you making that point about the decision. I didn't have much problem with Arkham Knight. The typical thing that most people don't like about Arkham Knight, and I do agree, I have the same
There was
problem.
too
is
much Batmobile.
Too much Batmobile and
Far too much.
Batmobile tank stuff. I agree with that, but the overall game I enjoyed.
I think because it was like 60% fucking Batmobile, I was just like, no. The 40% is great, but there's 60% of this entire main story that is dog shit.
Biggest problem with those games?
The
Riddler trophies. Yeah.
Ignore them then.
Riddler trophy. Yeah. I never finished the Riddler trophies in night.
No, neither did I. The only ones I picked up were,
Yeah. Oh, there's one there.
if it involved me doing a puzzle, no. Especially ones that involved a Batmobile.
Yeah, Jack doesn't get on well with puzzles in the best of times.
He did all right with We Were Here.
That's a different type of puzzle.
Yeah, true.
And it's
you
a
have me
co-op
shepherding
puzzle.
I
you.
also did all right in the escape room.
You did very well in the escape room. Probably better than I did.
I think my favourite puzzle solving in the escape room was like, what the fuck does this do? Oh, I've solved something.
Well, that moment of that I was throwing the beanbags in the so there were 3 sort of holes that I needed to kind of throw beanbags into. I got them all, and I was like, okay, fantastic. It gave me a code, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this code. And then sort of turned. You came along and went, oh, and then put in the code that you didn't even know was up on the wall. Anyway.
And then I had to play Hey Hey with a Monkeys on a
You
weird
did.
bone keyboard thing.
Oh, fucking hell.
A replica of the Goonies one.
Nice.
Making it movie related. So yeah.
It was good fun. We did have to squeeze through a tunnel though. I wasn't good at that.
Anybody who's interested in escape rooms and in the southeast of England, there's some great ones in a company called Clue Cracker. They don't sponsor us. If you want to, Tom, you know who I am. Come and speak to me.
As if they're watching this.
I know. I'll share it to them. It's fine. I think they're actually now classed as the best reviewed escape room in UK. But anyway,
Nice.
Was good fun.
Actually, I'm not sponsored by them.
That'd be good.
Yeah, maybe I should get in contact with them.
Batman!
It was good. It was
Dinner,
very
dinner,
good.
dinner, 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 dinner.
Batman! Let's talk about Lego Batman.
Fine, but don't call me Batman. Let's talk about Lego.
I know what you were going for there, and that was the airplane joke. It just didn't work as well
Exactly.
as.
My name's
Does
not Sheldon.
anyone have anything else to say about Batman Begins?
Probably many things, to be honest, because I really like this film. But we
One
won't.
freaky moment is when you've got Scarecrow all gassed up, and he sees Batman as the
black rubber Batman thing.
black rubber Batman
with his
thing
mouth
spewing.
thingy.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. I like when the toxin's out as well, and everyone's running around through the city, and Batman's swooping over him, and you look up and you just see
Yes,
like the silhouette
sort of-
with the red eyes.
Yeah,
and
yeah. And Scarecrow on the back of the horse.
yeah.
And then Rachel just tases him.
I do find all of these types of things amusing, where things are they're showing something that's meant to be really scary, but for someone who isn't dosed up, you just look at it and go, "This is just silly."
Yeah, absolutely. But if you were put yourself in if you were in the street and you looked up and you saw that, you'd shit yourself.
Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't look up and that's silly. I mean, what the fuck is happening right now?
Even a big pigeon.
even if I wasn't like dosed up on something, if I looked up and saw that, what's going on?
It is the end times.
Yeah.
Brick through wall, take a TV.
Brick through wall.
Window.
You've got to be really, really strong to do that, mate.
I don't think it matters how strong you are. That
probably
brick
not
will
gonna
just pulverise itself.
Yeah, that's true. The fiery horse was cool.
What, Ponyta or Rapidash?
It was weird that he was randomly on a horse.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from?
I assume a police horse.
I assume he stole it from a police officer.
It didn't
But
have
we
anything
hadn't
on it.
seen
No.
policemen on horses earlier in the. So he just found a horse. It was like very few places you could find a horse in the middle.
Seemingly was well trained to ride the horse and was like, I'll have that.
He'd been doing just dressage at the weekend or something.
To be fair, Crane's dosed up at this point as well. Maybe he thinks it's like a dragon or something.
It's entirely possible.
There's a whole Norman Reedus on it.
Entirely possible. Entirely possible. I also enjoyed the Jim Gordon going into firing mode in the tumbler, and obviously not knowing what that means.
Fair reaction. If I was in a car and if I was in a car that started moving me around with inside it, I'd be terrified.
Sam has just pointed out, is the horse doped up?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably dogs going somewhere.
Right.
This has been Admit One, your movie and TV podcast, right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing is watching us, you can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can join the chaos and carnage that is our conversation over on the Discord.
Indeed!
And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbitholemedia_UK and on TikTok at rabbitholemedia for all the behind the scenes tips and bits. If you would like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that recently got wider. And finally, if you are watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your heart to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love. Coming up on the channel, we will, of course, as usual, be right back so we can talk video games and things and tings for our weekly gaming podcast. Press start. We will be back on Tuesday to talk about Fast and Furious 7 on Admit 1. Thursday, we'll be doing a review discussion for Horizon Forbidden West. And then once again, we'll be back next Saturday to talk about The Dark Knight. I need to assign about a week to watch that film. Because it's 19 hours long!
Katie's very much looking forward to watching that.
I'm looking forward to watching the first two. The first 3/3. The fourth third that they've added onto the end.
It's the fourth third, the third
My
third,
main
and
issue
the
with
fourth
it is
third.
that there are 4 acts. Anyway, we'll get into
Okay.
it. We'll get into it.
Sadly, I will not be here for this, but I will be in the chat.
The thing is, that the thing that's going to be uninteresting this week is Jack and I are going to largely agree, I
Yes.
think. Like, I don't think you and I have ever had an actual discussion about that film, but the brief discussions we have had, I think we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in next Saturday for that discussion.
Indeed. Thank you very much for joining, whether it's Twitch or YouTube later. And until next time, we shall see you then.